Welcome, Project 4. In this project, you will add bones to the creature, attach the bones to specific parts of the creature, use the bones to move the creature into different poses, and take the different poses and turn them into an animation of the creature walking. Lab 1. In this lab, you'll add bones to the right side of your creature. Then you'll mirror the bones to add them to the left side. The goals for the lesson: use the wireframe viewport shading to get a different look at the creature. Create an armature made up of arm and leg bones. Create duplicates of the bones and flip them to use on the other side of the creature. Rigging. Rigging is a way to attach a frame or skeleton to 3D models so they are easier to move and animate. When the skeleton moves, the 3D model will move along with it. It's like putting your hand inside a puppet. Without your hand, the puppet won't move, but with your hand, the puppet can do all kinds of things. Wireframe viewport shading. The wireframe viewport shading is a way to look at a 3D model without seeing its solid surfaces. It's like taking an X-ray of the model. All you'll see are the vertices and edges, which are also called the wireframe. Viewing the wireframe will make it easier to get the bones in the right place. Okay, so if you need to go back in and hit X to delete, File, Open Recent would work. So my most recent was Project 3 Lab 6. So that's what I had saved it out as in the end. And I'm noticing in the video that they're saving theirs, they're opening up a different version than what I have that doesn't show all of this beautiful color. So I'm going to go with it though, and we're going to just change this to wireframe. Bones. In this project, you'll use bones to create a simple skeleton for the creature. Bones can be used by themselves, or you can connect them. Connected bones form joints, like your knees and elbows. Bone parts. In Blender, bones are made up of 3 elements. Click and drag the bone part names into the blank bone part labels to find out which is which. Let's see if I get it right. I'm just guessing here. Woo! I got it right. Nice. All right, let's add a bone to the arm. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to point our cursor in here, and we're going to make sure that it's actually inside of the arm when we do so. It's not quite in the arm. That's under the arm. There's got to be a scientific way to go about doing this, right? You would think. Oh, brother. Of course, when they do it in the video, it looks like, oh, it's just perfect, right? I think this is going to get easier once we add the joint. So let's do that. Let's find add, and we can move it around later. So we're looking at add armature, single bone. Okay, so now we have a bone in there. Okay, now we just need to rotate it so that the tip of it is going outward the way that the arm should. I'm holding down shift and scrolling, and I'm going to just come down here for my transform tool. I'm going to click on rotate, and I'm going to see if I can get that to rotate out. Okay, so now that that's the right general direction, now I can go ahead and click on the translate, and let's make sure we're grabbing the right arrow. I'm going to translate and move that down. So now it's inside the arm. Woohoo! Hit 7. There we go. Looks pretty good. Actually, from top view, it's not looking so great. Let's click rotate again and see if we can get that to point the right direction. Let's look at it always and just make sure that should work. It just wants to kind of rotate around. There. That's better. 7 for top view. There, perfect. Click back your translation. We are going to make a thigh bone. We're going to first just make sure that this arm bone is still selected. Whoops, didn't mean to move that. And just right click on it and make sure, whoops, not on that part. Just on the arm bone, right click it to make sure that it is in yellow and selected. Then you can either click tab or come down here and switch to edit mode. By having it selected, we are going to actually be grouping that new thigh bone that we make with this arm bone. Let's go ahead and shift and scroll. My shift and scroll is not working. I probably have to save. This is, whenever it doesn't do what you want it to do, just know that that's a good time to start saving. So I'm going to save as, and I'm going to call this project 4 now. Lab, whoops, that didn't take. Project 4, lab 1, and click save as Blender. Okay, now when I hold down shift, yay, it's working again. I'm in 7 or top view, and I've got the arm bone selected, and just like we did up here, I'm just gonna click down here in the thigh area. I'm not gonna worry about whether it's in there because I'm pretty, I don't know, hopefully I can move it around later. Should be able to just go Shift A to add a new bone. So let's see, Shift A. Hey, it worked. Woohoo! And if we grab the green arrow, we should be able to move the tip so that it's pointing down toward the foot. I'm gonna swivel around now and look at where this part of it's located. Oh, brother. Okay, I think I'm solving the problem. All right, over here in this menu here, for the properties, you go to view properties, right? If you go down, there's a 3D cursor window. So I should be able to get this cursor to go left. I'm going to hit 7 so everything's perpendicular. To go left along the x-axis. This is very helpful, people. Very helpful. And to go, I can hit, what, 3? Gives me side view. And I'm looking at the z-axis here. So I'm going to go down the z-axis. And that is how you can get your cursor to move. Okay, so now that I have my cursor where I want it, I'm going to see if I can just get that thing to delete. I'm going to click X, and I'm deleting that bone. At least I thought I was. X, delete bones. Good. Okay, so I've got my cursor right where I want it. I need to make sure that my other one is selected. I'm not sure if I can now that I've, yep, I got it. So it's selected, hit 7, come back to top view. Now I should be able to hit Shift A, add a bone right where I wanted it. It's pointing upward right now, and I need it to point down, so I'm going to have to hit rotate and rotate it down. That is absolutely perfect. Hit 7 so you can see your front view. Scroll out a little bit. I'm just going to go back to transform view, and that looks fantastic. So, guys, you just troubleshoot here. Figure this stuff out. Little by little, we can do it. Okay, so next we're going to actually extrude a shin bone from the thigh bone we've just created. So I'm going to hit 7. Whoopsie. There we go. And you just want to you know, you've got that selected, and you're going to left click at the end of, there you go. I want to make sure that you got the end of it, and hit E, just like you would extrude a box. You're going to hit E and then drag down, and look, just extruded a bone. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so we can see that more close up. So I'm hitting shift and scrolling. Check that out. That was cool. Hit Control Z. Let's do it again. So you're just going to left click at the end of your selected thigh bone, hit E, and look, it's extruding a bone. Ta-da! All right, and then they want us to just kind of like pan around and maybe to like use that green arrow and bring that bone all the way down to the bottom of the foot, and just to make sure that that bone is actually in the foot, and it is, and it looks fantastic. It's beautiful. Hitting 7, back to top view, scrolling out, using shift so I can see everything here. Shift and scroll, that is. Shift and scroll. We are going to now mirror our 3 bones to the other side. So click A to select all 3. To duplicate them, you're going to hold down the shift key and press D. And when you do that, all you have to do is just gently move your cursor, and those duplicates are going to start moving around. I'm just going to bring them over to the other side and click to release them. Okay, now I want you to hold down Control and hit the letter M as in mirror. Control M as in mirror. Now hit X to have them mirror over the X axis. Pretty cool. So first we duplicated them and just set them over here. Then we hit Control M to mirror them, and essentially that flipped them. And when we hit X, it said that we want to flip them over the X axis. We can now just gently grab the arrows and move them along the body into location. And I might need to move mine down a little bit. I was kind of looking at the lines here, the wireframe lines, to make sure that I kind of had it lined up with the same wireframe lines on each side. And then I'm also just going to pan around and make sure that I'm seeing symmetry from this angle as well. And it looks great. Hit the 7. All right, let's go ahead and name what we've got so far. This is going to be File, Save As, and what they want us to do, I'm going to go ahead and save it as Project 4 Lab 1, but I'm also going to add the name that they want us to use, which is Creature Animated, Project 4 Lab 1, and then click Save as Blender. And that concludes Lab 1. Yay!